Hi, my name is Rocio Paola Caballero Gil. I am a paleoclimatologist and paleoceanographer. I'm really a geologist. And I'm Peruvian born and raised. I have 2 children. I'm married to the love of my life, and I live with a big family in my home. So it's a multicultural, multi-generational house. For me, everything happened in stages. It was everything in the year of 2011. April of that year, I was doing Zumba, and I was a little out of shape, and I just collapsed to the floor. I plummeted. And I thought it was because I was out of shape. And so I got up and I was shaking because I fell, and I've never done that. And then I did it again. I was like, okay, I'm not that clumsy, this is something else. And then by the time I went back home in November, I couldn't chew a steak that I was eating with my husband. So I went to the doctor. The neurologist immediately did a strength test and decided it was myasthenia.
Myasthenia gravis, first of all, is an autoimmune disease. It affects critical aspects of nerve-muscle communication. So then all the symptoms come from that. Patients can have really visually disabling double vision, droopy eyelids to the point they can't see, speaking problems, trouble swallowing, breathing problems, and in the most severe cases, they need to be on a breathing machine. So it can be just really a life-devastating disease.
I got myasthenia when I was an adult. I think it took me years to really come to grips and understand my new person. I had to mourn my scientist in my head and where I was going and what I was going to do and the family I wanted to have, and mourn that and then be adjusted. So it was a long process to really come to grips with who I was.
I met Rocio in 2018, and she had come to me already with myasthenia diagnosed back in 2011. She came to me and she was failing prednisone therapy. She'd already had surgery called a thymectomy. She was getting intermittent dosings of intravenous immunoglobulin. She was on a common medication, pyridostigmine, and she still really couldn't do her job. She had profound difficulty taking care of her children and her husband, and really was essentially housebound from my perspective.
Dr. Comisia had talked about the research, so I said, if nothing is working and I need something to work right now, maybe the research route is an option. So I got in touch with Dr. Kaminsky and I said, out of desperation, let's do it.
When she entered the trial, within the first weeks, months, she already was improving. So it was really a dramatic effect for her. And then over the course of the study, she's continued to do very well.
I felt the progress like skyrocket. It was like day and night. And with this drug, the improvement was fast. And the ability came back fast. And so I was like, wait a minute, I can actually read a book to my children at night without having to stop after every page. Or I can go up the stairs and play with my daughter. And so those were things that I was already used to not being able to be the mom that I wanted to be, the scientist that I wanted to be. And so it took a lot, but it was good, And of course it wasn't 100% great. I still couldn't drive, I still can. But at the same time, I was hopeful that maybe someday I can still try.
I think the most important aspect that sometimes gets lost is the critical nature of the patients. They're putting their lives, quite frankly, on the line. There's no guarantees when you're in a clinical trial that the complication's not going to occur. And so I think it's an incredibly scary and brave decision to enter into a clinical trial. But ultimately, it's just so humbling for them to enter into this and take a risk and potentially lead to a treatment that is accepted across the world and improves people's lives. So it's really the patients who are doing all the work.
Thinking of the value of being part of a clinical trial, I feel that the value is immense. It's so different from what I was used to. My symptoms have improved dramatically. They're not gone. I'm still taking my meds, and I still have to go and take the scary meds that I didn't want to at some point. But I still feel the difference.
So here at GW, we're actually doing this work as part of an NIH grant to understand myasthenia and just rare diseases in general. My goal, quite frankly, is to get a cure. Otherwise, why do things? But to get to that cure, there's a lot of different steps, right? There's The basic scientists still understanding the disease better, and as it's like peeling an onion, you understand it, then you see that you don't understand this point. I'm hopeful that we can actually get to a cure, which is what everybody wants.
Through this journey, I've been lucky to have the support of my family, my husband, my children, and Dr. Kaminsky was there for me, and I trusted him enough to say, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. I just wanted to say thank you to all of them because this wouldn't be what it is without them.